Welcome to episode 76, Jane Killian on being unselfishly me. Over the past 14 years in her journey as a personal trainer, Jane Killian has heard every pain point of every woman she has ever worked with. She realized they all had one thing in common, not loving themselves. Jane quickly realized she needed to guide her clients to create change from the inside out and not the other way around. And Unselfishly Me was born. Jane now guides women back to self-love through retreats, workshops, her signature 8-week course, and her community, the Self-Love Club, as well as her podcast titled Unselfishly Me. Her passion is helping women find their aha moment and rewrite their story to create your happiest moment and your most authentic you. In this episode, we'll discuss why creating change from the inside out is key, how giving yourself permission is one of the most important things you can do, what self-love really means, how external validation can be a path to self-loathing, and what to do instead. Easy ways to indulge in self-care that fit into your busy schedule. But first, color is a powerful tool and the first thing people notice about you, but wearing the right colors can be overwhelming and confusing. If you're ready to wear color with confidence, I would love to be your guide. I'm launching my brand new Color Confidence package, and I can work with you one-on-one if you're in the Raleigh, North Carolina area, or we can work virtually anywhere in the world. I'm looking for a few women who are ready to learn more about color and take their color game to new heights. I'm offering this great package at an introductory price for just half off, but I only have a few slots available. If you're ready to find out what your best colors are through color analysis, create your fabulous 5-color capsule, discover your signature colors and what colors to wear this season, then click the link in the bio and let's get started. I look forward to helping you wear color with confidence. Welcome to Style by Mary Michelle, a podcast designed to empower you through personal style. I'm your host, Mary Michelle Nidifer, a master style coach, founder of Style Finder Boutique, and creator of the Style Finder ID system. I'm here to help you know what to wear, how to wear it, and how to get dressed in 7 minutes or less. Let's go. Yay. So Jane, hello and welcome.
I feel like I'm talking to my American bestie again. It's so nice to be back.
We had such a great time chatting last time, and I'm so thrilled to talk with you again today. So tell me all the things. Tell me, how did you get started doing what you do?
I think it's an interesting backstory. So I've always been very sporty. I played a lot of sport at school, and I actually didn't know what I wanted to study at university when I was going in matric. I was like, I don't know what to do. And I was thinking law, marine biology, and I just, or physiotherapy. There were 3 things. And then I had a family friend that was like, well, why don't you come and look what I do, come to the university. And it was sports science, so exercise science. So I thought, oh, that sounds interesting. Went and had a look. He listed all the things you could do with it. And I was like, yeah, actually, this makes my life so much easier. I'll do this. Not really thinking where it would take me or what I would do. And so I studied sports science and got a degree, and did my honors in exercise science. And then from there, I went into personal training. So I lived overseas in Edinburgh for a year, and then I went into personal training and I focused on women, and I've been loving doing that ever since. But I kept hearing the same things, and I struggled with it. We all do, is that we just don't feel good enough, and we compare ourselves, and it's all about our body, and we complain about our bodies nonstop. So I've been a personal trainer for 14 years now. And during the whole time, I just kept on hearing what women were complaining about. And I would always do it from like a compassionate angle. I was never the trainer that was all about burpees and starve yourself. And I was always like, yes, live an 80-20 lifestyle, eat a cupcake on the weekend. Like I never was the strict dieting. I was kind of like the soft trainer, I suppose. But I would always say, look in the mirror and speak kindly, and be kind to yourself and say nice things to yourself and treat your body with kindness, without knowing that I was kind of training them from the inside out. Only a few years ago did I realize that I kept saying this to my clients, and they were like, it's so nice. It's like you're a therapist as well. And I thought, you're not paying me enough to be your therapist as well. But good point. So it happened out of the blue that my whole brand and the name and everything just came to be when a friend was being really unkind to herself on her Instagram stories. And I'd just been talking to a friend on her podcast about self-love and how I discovered like how we think and how our mind only believes what we say. And I'd been like reading all these beautiful things about your solar plexus chakra and learning. I'd actually done a workshop the weekend before, and I was talking to her about it, and I was so pumped up because I had this amazing chat to her. And then I went on to Instagram stories, and a friend of mine was doing a story about how it's her birthday in a month and she wanted to lose, how can I lose 10 kgs in 1 month because of my birthday? And I was like, I just wrote back. I was like, love yourself more. And then she wrote back, I can't. And like my heart like stopped. And I was just like, this is a problem, not just for her, but it's a problem for like other women. So I was just like, okay, let me help you. Let me send you this. Let me send you this and do this affirmation and watch this video. And she, for the first time, felt like really positive compared to how she did the day before. So I suddenly had this whole idea. I don't know what, it was obviously a divine download where it was just like, you need to create a brand and do a course. And I thought, where did that come from? So that's what I did. And the name came up. I literally like spat it out randomly when I had a kinesiology appointment, and I created my 8-week e-course in 1 month. It was like every night I stayed up till midnight, and I was just creating and curating a lot of the content from like Oprah and Brene Brown, and just finding the things that resonated with me and curating it with those gurus. But through that and through them, I've kind of curated my own stuff and created my own voice as well and learned lessons along the way. So Unselfishly Me was born in 2018. And that has kind of taken over my life and the personal training. I still do it, but I've kind of moved into yoga now. So everything is more softer and more like I was very in the masculine before and like strong and powerful. And I still am, but now from the inside out, and I'm doing it in a more feminine way, which is quite interesting as well. So it's been a long journey, a long time coming, but it's all kind of enmeshed really well. And it's just been a journey to get to this point. And I think I am definitely doing what I'm meant to be doing by guiding women with Unselfishly Me.
Absolutely. Jane, that's so powerful. And I feel like in so many ways, like what you're saying, I'm like, yes, I love it. Like so many women, you're right. I mean, I feel like you and I are so aligned in so many ways because, my whole journey started with, beating myself up over my weight, but your vehicle was training. My vehicle was style. And so I feel that, you and I have so much in common. This is great. But you're right in that, women, I think just society, magazines, I think for me, a lot of it was from magazines that I read. I didn't see models that looked like me. And it wasn't that I was, super overweight. I had a few extra pounds, but I just couldn't relate to anybody that I saw in magazines. And so I thought, well, I should look like this. I should be a size 2. And I think there's so much in the media that just sends out negative, just reinforces this negative behavior and negative belief about, that you must be thin to be worthy and you must look a certain way. And I think it's caused so many problems for so many women.
Yeah, it's like created this ideal self, which is not actually our true self. And it's just made this, it's also given Instagram and TikTok like this huge platform to compare yourself on and to not feel worthy of anything really, and comparing your clothes and your hair and your face and your skin and your makeup and your job and how much money you have. And it's just created this culture where we are comparing every single thing. And I feel like we never used to even compare ourselves to our friends, but now you're in this comparison culture that maybe even you're looking over at your bestie and being like, oh, I wish I could go on that holiday. And you kind of have this voice in your head all the time.
Yeah. And it's so, I feel like it just puts our focus on the wrong things. And it's this downward spiral. So, but it's just, I don't know. I think for me, for my own journey, I mean, I certainly did that for many years. I compared myself to everybody. And it took me a long time to get out of that. And it's so powerful to be in a place where women can lift each other up and be excited for each other and compliment each other. It's like a whole different world.
Yeah.
So how do you recommend that? I mean, what tips would you give us for, if we find ourselves looking in the mirror and saying all those negative things to ourselves? What do you say? What would you say to your clients?
So the first thing I feel like the biggest thing is to notice that you're saying these things. And as soon as you notice them, you cannot unnotice them. It's like that there used to be something you didn't think about, and suddenly it's like in your face, to the point where you'll actually now, when your friend says something, you'll be like, stop saying that about yourself. So the first key is to notice that you're saying them. So things like starting a gratitude list also, and focusing on things that you love about yourself. So writing it down every morning, what you love about yourself, like giving yourself a compliment. Your mind only believes what you say. So compliments are great from other people, but you have to start giving them to yourself, because your mind's only going to believe what someone else tells you for 20 minutes and then it's gone. So you need to practice giving yourself compliments and looking in the mirror and actually saying them. And I have some clients that literally can't even look at themselves in the mirror. So I'm like, even if you have to tape your mirror up with newspaper to your neck, and every morning you are saying positive things about your face and your eyes. Oh, my eyes are really popping today. Oh, I love the way my hair looks. And just giving yourself those compliments, and then slowly start going down. You get to a point where, the whole fake it till you make it, but it's not really faking it, because you do feel those things. It's just subconscious and so deep down, because we are so surface level, and we are coming from a place of comparison and seeing like the here and the now and comparing ourselves to someone else. But if we actually didn't see magazines or know that our body type isn't the right body type and isn't what society likes, we wouldn't be comparing ourselves, because we wouldn't have anything to compare ourselves to. So if you didn't have a mirror, you wouldn't know what you even look like to compare yourself to the person you're actually seeing in real life and talking to. So just acknowledging that you are thinking negative things, noticing the things that you say to yourself. And then what I like to tell my clients is, every time you say a negative, you stop yourself, forgive yourself, because it's very easy to then stop and start saying worse things, because you're berating yourself for actually saying the things. So stop yourself, forgive yourself for saying those negative things. So you're acknowledging, you're forgiving, and then replacing it with a positive.
Yes.
So you notice the behavior, you stop the behavior, and then you change the behavior. And it becomes this thing where eventually, also because we kind of don't like, we're rushing all the time. So we'll be like, okay, now I have to do step 1, step 2, step 3. Okay. So you'll stop doing it anyway, because you just want to save time. But you stop that behavior because you're replacing it with a positive. And in the end, you'll become such a habit of actually just saying the positive things. So it takes time and practice, but it is possible.
And it's totally worth it. It's a game changer. It changed my life, I think, so many years ago but I'll take it a step further and just throw out something that really helped me, was to flip the script and to look in the mirror and say, oh, my eyes are really popping today, which I love that you said that. And then I would wear something that would make them pop even more. And then I would look in the mirror. I'm like, ooh, my eyes really look good. And then you go out and other people notice. They're like, hey, that color looks great on you. Or that, something looks, it just amplifies.
Yes.
But
I love that.
it's interesting. Let's talk about I don't know if compliments are the right word. Compliments, external validation, really. Because I think so many women get caught up external validation is great. It's wonderful when you walk outside and you get compliments. But I think what I've seen so many women struggle with is, to touch back on what you said, is that you're not giving yourself the compliments first. You're not loving yourself first. And then when you wake up and you're like, is this okay? Is this okay? And then you walk outside and you are waiting for somebody else to tell you you look good. And then but it's like, it's never enough, because you've never told yourself that, right?
And it almost becomes like you living your life for other people to make decisions for you. Are they going to make every single decision for you? You
Mhm.
need to learn to trust your gut, trust your intuition,
Yes.
which comes from a place of connecting your mind and your body. Like you need to be in your body. And I know yoga teachers always say it, and half the time we're like, what do you mean in your body? You need to be in your body. You need to be connected to your body so that you can feel in your gut, that gut reaction, that intuition, that
Right.
yes, oh yes, like it needs to be a hell yes, otherwise it's a hell no. So
Yeah,
you need
that's exactly
you
what I say about clothes.
need yeah, nah. I don't know. You either know or you don't. Yeah. It's either a hell yes or a hell no. So you need to be in your body, you need to be connected to your body, and that is through movement. And notice that I'm not saying that you need to work out to look good. I'm saying you need to be connected so that your body and your mind are connected, and you know
Mhm.
this is good. This you can make those decisions from your gut, from the how you feel. And I think if you are looking for external validation to make decisions on what you should wear, should I buy this? Should I buy that? Do I look good? Do I not look good? You're going to be asking what to cook for dinner and what phone should I buy? And you're going to ask all these random questions. You're going to ask strangers for validation on your decision making all the time. Or are you going to trust yourself and know within yourself that this is the right thing for me?
Yeah.
You really have to trust your gut and just lean into what you want to do and what you want to say and how you want to feel. So looking to other people for advice and guidance, but not looking to them to like run your life and to make decisions for you. I think that's really important.
Absolutely, because I think if you do that, it's like it becomes this pit and it's never enough. And the sad thing is you lose yourself in the process.
Yeah,
If you're
100%.
just
You don't know who you
looking for
are.
that external validation, well, is this good enough? Is this good enough? Is so and so going to approve? You're not
Mm.
honoring yourself. And I think you're giving away your power,
Yes.
which is something
Decision
that,
making, because
yeah.
decision making is a power and it's a personal power, and it is something that gives you your distinct look, your distinct personality, your distinct like your everything, like you making decisions, like with you with what you teach and style, like you making decisions about your style is showing your personality, and there is power in that, and owning who you are and how you feel and how you can change your life. So by giving that power away to other people to make decisions, you know, who are you? Like you need to bring it
Right.
back in, bring it back into your gut and bring it back into yourself, and to know this is me, this is what I'm going to wear today. I don't actually care if so and so comments on it at work again, because this is exactly how I feel and I want to express it through my clothes, for one example.
Yeah, absolutely. But the cool thing is, when you on those days where you wake up and you put on a kick-ass outfit that it's not about the clothes, but it's like, this is so me. And then you walk around with this just crazy confidence.
Yeah.
That's when people are like, oh my God, you look amazing today. You're not like, oh, am I okay? Is this good? Is this good? You're not holding yourself small. And I think there's so much power in just saying, I don't care what anybody else thinks. This is who I am, and this is how I'm going to shine.
Yeah. And you literally do shine when you feel confident within yourself and you feel confident in your personality and your clothes and how you carry yourself. It's going to shine through and everyone's going to notice.
Yes. Jane, where did the name Unselfishly Me come from?
So I was actually at a kinesiology appointment. I was literally lying on, the bed, the plinth, and we were talking about it. And I was like, I need to, and I had a list of names. I can't even remember them because they were so random and really bad. But so she was saying to me, she's like, oh, I feel like the name is out there. And she had like affirmation cards and things in her reception area. And there was like a little book. And so she went to get the little book and she came back and it was called When I Loved Myself. And she was so she was looking through, she's like, I feel like the answer's in here. And she's very intuitive. So she was like looking through it. And then she said, I'll give you an example. It's like, I want to come to you for training, but I feel like I'm taking money away from my family. And I want to come to you, but then I feel like I'm taking away time from my kids. So I feel guilty. And I just blurted out, Unselfishly Me. Like from what she was saying, I just blurted it out and I was like, unselfishly me. Like you want to do these things for yourself, but you feel selfish. So you want to actually live this unselfish life. So unselfish. And we both like looked at each other and we were like, oh, it was yes. And then they do muscle testing and things. So she did a test. It was like 99% yes. I was like,
Oh,
we,
that's
we knew that
fabulous.
anyway. But yeah, it was just this random. Yeah. And then I even had like the whole logo and everything in my head, like straight away. It was just unreal how it all, no one had the .com, and I live in South Africa. So I should be like .coza. No one had the .com. I think two people had used the hashtag before, like years before. No one had the Instagram account. Like it was unreal, the alignment. So I just took that as my, my line to do it. And then I
Yes,
quickly trademarked it as well. So,
that's great. It's such a
yeah.
great.
So
Now tell
yeah.
me, what does unselfishly mean to you? Or I'm sorry, what does unselfishly me mean to you?
Feel like it's giving yourself permission to live your truth, to be your authentic self, to not apologize for yourself or for any actions that you want to do, for the betterment of yourself. And I feel like it should be a guilt-free zone. We guilted into so many things that I feel like it is the ability to be yourself, not apologize for it, and to do it in a guilt-free way.
Yes, I love it. That is so, I feel like it's so needed. Why do you
Mm.
think women need to be told that they can give themselves permission to be themselves?
I think that we put so much pressure on ourselves to be perfect, but I think it's generational. It's just being expected of us, to juggle everything and to be the person that can do everything. And then I think we've taken on that role. So then we don't know what to do. We don't know how not to do five things at the same time and how to be everything for everyone. So
Mhm.
we've kind of brought it on ourselves, but in a generational way. And then I think it's just been passed down that we just take on that role. But I think now with the way things are going, that we have been waking up for the last 10 or 20 years and things are actually changing, and that we are not apologizing for taking back our power and for speaking our truth and wanting to do all the things, but making our choices of when and where and how. So I think that we just need to release the guilt and to stop taking on so much. I also think that because we take it on, it's expected of us. So
Mhm.
we all need to kind of stop doing everything for everyone and for them to learn to do the things for themselves, and that we're not going to be there all the time and we're not available all the time. I think that's important, especially in like the corporate world, that you're not always online, you're not available all the time. And, you have to set those boundaries. So it's up to us now to teach the boundaries, to set them. And we are the only ones who can do them. It's saying what you will and will not put up with. So it's not hard. It is in the beginning, but you deserve the respect and you deserve more. So it's giving yourself the respect first and then showing everyone, I am commanding this respect and you need to do this for me. Thank you. Goodbye.
Yes, yes. Now, Jane, give us an example of how you put that into play in your own life.
So, especially with clients and potential clients, I find that people will contact me on WhatsApp. This has been going on for years, actually, mostly before COVID, to be honest, that I would get random, I don't even know how they got my number half the time, because usually I'll just have my social media and my website and email. But I would get like WhatsApps at like 10 o'clock at night from people asking about training prices. And I set boundaries long time ago. I don't mind if they see that I'm online, but I'm not reading it. And the next day, like 7 a.m. or whatever, because I would have been working from 5, I'll then answer messages and things like that. So they can see that I'm online. I don't mind. I'm glad that you see I'm online, because for me, like, especially WhatsApp, I feel like it's become like almost like an email, where people feel like they can contact you for anything. And I'm like, WhatsApp is like for my friends and my family. Like that's what it was started for, and people have definitely overstepped boundaries with that. So I'm very big with that. And emails, especially if someone contacts me on WhatsApp, it actually happened the other day, randomly on like, so it was a long weekend here in South Africa over the weekend. So Monday was a public holiday. So you don't expect people on a Saturday to be contacting you and wanting quotes and things like that. So she contacted me on WhatsApp, and I was like, that's great, please can you here's the email to email me on for the quote. And then she emailed me, and then she still carried on asking me on WhatsApp. And I just said, sorry, I'm in between events and time with my family now. I'll reply to you on email. when I can. So setting those boundaries like that. I also feel like I've had to set boundaries with myself, and I think everyone listening probably is looking side eye that we all have to set boundaries with ourselves. So things like, and I know this is one of our questions we're going to talk about, but I'm going to bring it in now. Things like, I don't have time. Oh, I really want to exercise. So I don't mind if you are exercising for health. I push it for health for everyone. I don't really care what you look like or what you want to look like. That is your own thing. It's for me, it's from the inside out. But if you want to change something and you really want this change in your life and you are desperate for it, don't say you don't have time. We all have time. You have to make the time. We all have the time. We prioritize things differently. So a better thing to say is, I just don't feel like it's priority for me. Just be honest with yourself, because I was saying I didn't have time to journal. But now for the last 2 months, I've woken up 10 minutes earlier. I wake up at 5:10 in the morning. I only have to be up at 20 past so that I actually go and I journal for 10 minutes. And it has changed my life. And I was like, I don't have time. I do have time. I just had to reshuffle things to make the time. So instead of sitting on Facebook during your lunch break or when you get home from work, sitting on Facebook for half an hour, or we all know TikTok is it will take you into a dark place and you wake up 3 hours later. What? It's been 3 hours? It felt like 20 minutes. TikTok is notorious for that. So instead of doing that, getting your priorities straight and doing what you say you want to do, whether it's journaling, doing meditation, going to yoga, going for a run, going to the gym, whatever it is that you really want to do, that's self-care. For me, that stuff is self-care. So like the journaling and meditation and yoga, if you really want to do it, you will make the time. You have the time already. You just have to shuffle things so that you're making the time. You're not finding the time like we all have it. You just have to make it by shifting it, So finding the time is the same thing as saying, what is everyone saying? Beyonce has 25, everyone has the same amount of time. Yes, we all have the same amount of time, but everyone's lives are different. So for my shuffling and getting up earlier is not going to work for everyone. Like for you, it might be going to bed 10 minutes earlier and then journaling or meditating in bed or doing 30 minutes of yoga before bed. So our lifestyles are all different. So you have to find what works for you. But we all sit and scroll social media. And if it really is that important to you to make this change, you're going to A, stop scrolling so much. B, a lot of people, especially in South Africa, I don't know what it's like for you guys, but a lot of my corporate friends, their contract says they have an hour lunch break. So you are getting paid and you get an hour lunch break, but they are not taking the hour lunch break. They are working through their lunch break at their desk, eating. And I'm like, I don't understand. You have this in your contract, like take it. They take so much from you in corporate. They take so much and they go over the boundaries, they overstep so much. So why don't you want to take what is owed to you? That hour there might be a 30-minute yoga class down the road and you can get in and out and come back. You could, if there's showers at work, which some of the corporates here have showers, you could go for a half an hour walk, come back, shower, done. There's so much you can do in that time. If you have an office, lock the door, put a sign up, this is my lunch break, come back at this time, headphones, meditation, or roll out your yoga mat and do some yoga. There are so many ways that you can actually build it into your time that you already have. It's like you just have to want it. And I think that that's the problem, is that people it's easier to make an excuse than it is to actually do the thing, and you really have to be honest with yourself and just say, it's not a priority for me. I just don't care enough to make it a priority. Like I didn't care about journaling and then I did. And now I can't not, because I set the boundary. Here's the boundary. I set the boundary that I'm not allowed to look at my phone. I can check WhatsApp in case a client is cancelled or anything. I'm not allowed to go into social media until I have journaled.
Oh, good for you. That's a good one.
You know how fast I started getting into that habit? I was like, so at least 30 minutes, I don't, I'm offline. I don't go on social media. And I always said this to my clients: don't look at social media for the first 30 minutes of your day, because you react and you become so reactive. Instead of like your whole day, you'll be reactive and not responsive, which is what we want to do, like calm manner. And you don't want to you've been sleeping and now you're frying your brain and your nervous system is like jolting because you have so much stimulation so quick in the morning. You want to start it intentionally, and that's going to be with journaling, guided meditation, yoga, run, workout, whatever you do. If you love Zumba, doing Zumba, so starting your day intentionally.
Oh, for sure. It makes such a difference. But let's talk about movement for a few minutes, because I mean, where I am in my life, I love exercise now. I mean, I'm not like an exercise fiend. I don't love to hit the gym, but I love to move my body. And it's funny. I think back to years ago when I was in high school, and I used to beat myself up and tell myself I was too fat. Do you know who Jane Fonda is? Do you remember the Jane Fonda workouts? Oh my gosh. This totally dates me. I had the Jane Fonda workout LPs.
I love it.
I know.
She's still going. She's still going strong, and everyone's still doing those workouts. So.
Like, oh my God, if I look like her. But I would come home and I would, have some emotional issue, and I would probably binge eat cookies, and then I would punish myself by doing Jane Fonda. I didn't do it because I loved it, and I think she's amazing, and it was a great workout, but it was like, I have to work out, and I have to burn off these cookies, and I have to do this. And now it's a whole different come from. It's not like, oh, I've got a muffin top or I've got this and I have to work out. It's like, I feel now that I need to move. And if I don't move, I'm going to go crazy. And so it's become more self-care for me.
Yes.
And I think, what's your perspective on movement? Like, how do you coach your clients to find something that they want to do?
I always say on social media, I've always had so many questions. They're like, what should I do? Should I do weight training? Should I do running? Should I do walking? What should I do? I'm like, what do you want to do? What do you like to do? Mm-hmm. And like I said, if it's CrossFit, go do CrossFit. If it's yoga, go do yoga. If it's Pilates, go do Pilates. Obviously, for me as a personal trainer, I feel like a well-rounded approach is the best. So maybe like yoga twice a week, and then walking twice a week, and twice a week you're doing like a resistance training, just so it's like a well-rounded program. But if you only like yoga, do yoga. If you only like CrossFit, do CrossFit. Like, don't force yourself to do things that you hate. Life is too short to do things that you hate and to eat things that you hate too. Like, so I believe in an 80-20 lifestyle, like, enjoy life, but like reel it in, so doing exercise that you enjoy, because then it's not going to be a chore. You're actually going to love doing it. You don't want to be like, it becomes a chore where, I have to do like the Jane Fonda. We don't want it to be a Jane Fonda where you're like, I have to do this now. I hate this. Why do I have to do this? Why do I have to go here? It's like trying to do a running program. If you hate running, that just walk. You're still burning calories and you're still getting like a really good cardio workout. So do something that you enjoy. And the time of day as well. I always get asked, should I work out in the morning or after work? And I'm like, which one do you prefer doing? Which one makes more sense to you and your lifestyle? Do that, because it's going to be harder to stick to something that A, you don't enjoy, and B, it doesn't actually suit your lifestyle. If you know that you are so tired after work, it is so easy for you driving and then turning off to go home, then maybe you should just get up earlier and you should go to the gym and change at the gym and go straight to work from there. Doing something that actually lights you up, not makes you feel really heavy and dark.
Yes. Yeah, it makes all the difference. I know I've got my standing Monday night yoga class. That's really the only night I do yoga. I do other things during the week, but Monday night, and I love my instructor. She's amazing. She always plays great music. There's some cool people in the class, and I really look forward to it. And I've just, I've never really been like a person who loves exercise, but I find myself really looking forward to that. And then, during the week, even if I have 5 minutes, I'm like, all right, let me find a 5-minute video I can throw on. And even if I don't do an hour's worth of exercise, I cut myself a lot of slack. I'm like, you know what? I did 5 minutes. I'm going to celebrate that and just be okay with that.
Yeah, 5 minutes is better than nothing. It's you lapping the people on the couch already.
That is a good point. That's a good point. Jane, what would you say your favorite part of your job is?
Oh, Okay, I'll break it up into sections. So for yoga now, because I did my teacher training last year because we were still kind of in lockdown and a lot of my work I wasn't doing. So now I've started teaching at home. We've got an outdoor astro area with a sea view. It's so beautiful. And even like today, it's just like when they come out of Shavasana, when they're in Shavasana and I'm like saying beautiful words and I can actually see their bodies like just relax and they're actually listening, or like a physical reaction. And even tonight, I actually literally just taught a yoga class before this. I just sat there and I was like, oh, I love this. This is what I'm meant to be doing. So I think for the yoga side, it's I teach beginners, so literally this is how to do downward dog, this is how to do tree, not like a flow class. I feel like I'm bringing awareness to yoga and making it accessible, because not a lot of people teach the basics. You kind of go to a class and have to start like following. So for me, I feel like the best part is seeing them do a pose and they just feel so accomplished because now they can actually do it. And some people have come up to me when I've done public events and they're like, I've been to yoga about 5 times a few years ago and I could never do that. And no one has ever shown me how to stand like that, and things like that, which really make me feel good. And because I'm bringing Unselfishly Me into my yoga classes by doing the Shavasana and doing guided meditations and all self-love focused. And then for Unselfishly Me, the best part, I am a person who loves feedback. So I love hearing from people and I love knowing what their aha moments are. So whenever I get a message back of how something has resonated with someone or changed them and the way they feel about themselves or what they get from a video, that for me is just like, cherry on top. When I host retreats, so I have self-love retreats that I host, and at the end I always give them a little square of paper, like one of those little square pieces that you get, and I say you can write it anonymously, or if you want me to know that it's you, to put your name, and I want you to write what you learned about yourself this weekend. And I hold on to those. I've got a box and I keep them. I'm actually so scared to lose them that I'm going to scan them and make a photo book so that I always have them. And I read over them every so often, just reading the difference that you can make in someone's life and what they have found for themselves or realized. And half the time I'm like, but I already saw that in you. But you don't, like I knew that was what was in you already. But just hearing how they have heard something I've said, and you and I can say the same thing, but we say it in a different way so that it will resonate with different people. We all, everyone who's doing light work and helping and healing, we all saying the same thing. It's just said in a different way. So it's going to resonate with different people. So knowing that I could help them in a simplified way learn about themselves and learn these things, it just like, makes my heart sing. So my favorite thing is helping women to believe in themselves, find their light, find their power, and know that they are enough.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's so beautiful. And it's, Tony Robbins says the secret to living is giving. And I think when you're in that giving mode, I think a lot of people don't realize how much you get back. And it just makes all the difference.
It like hits you right in the heart.
It's like, and this is why we're here.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just, I think women are underrated by society and the world in general. And I think that it's time that we start realizing our potential and realizing our power and bringing it to the light. So
for sure. Absolutely.
We both do that.
Yes. We need more women to do that. Yes. Oh, this has been amazing. Jane, tell everybody where we can find you.
So I am always on social media, except after hours. So you can find me. I'm mostly active on Instagram. So Unselfishly Me on Instagram. And then Facebook, and my website is unselfishlyme.com. I'm busy renovating it now. And I also have a podcast that you are on called Unselfishly Me, which you can find on all platforms. And I'd love to hear from you, especially everyone overseas. It's so nice to have someone international and to connect. And I think the world is actually such a small place that we can connect all over. And it's so nice to, we cross-pollinating right now. So we spreading the word and spreading the love to both of our platforms, which I think is so beautiful. So I'd love to hear from everyone as well, and just let's all connect. It's so nice to make the world smaller.
Absolutely. And all those links will be in the show notes. So we'll make sure everybody can find you.
Yeah.
Jane, thank you so much for being here. Are there any last thoughts you want to share with us?
I feel like you need to dig deep and find the spark that is already inside of you, and you know that she's there. She's that little girl that you used to dance around and twirl around, and you felt like you were enough, and maybe society and other people told you that you weren't. So you need to find her again, make best friends with her again, and pep her up like you would a best friend, and bring her back out to the surface and allow yourself to shine.
Yes, absolutely. Oh, this has been amazing. Jane, thank you, thank you, thank you for all you do and for sharing this time with us.
Thank you so much for having me. It was so nice to be here.
Thanks for tuning in to Style by Mary Michelle, where women come to get dressed in 7 minutes or less. If you enjoyed this podcast, I invite you to leave me a 5-star review on iTunes or wherever you're listening. Be sure to follow me on Instagram at Style by Mary Michelle and shop our boutique at shopstylefinder.com for the best in upscale casual apparel. Better yet, if you're in the Raleigh area, come see us. We're located in the North Hills Shopping Center, the premier shopping district in Midtown Raleigh. For details and links mentioned in this episode, be sure to see the show notes. Have a beautiful week.